Every day I wake feel like my life on the line. Jungle in these streets, pick the beats are on the line. Hustle to increase, put it all on the line. House to spouse, family freedom, walking yards on the line. Every day I wake feel like my life on the line. Jungle in these streets, pick the beats are on the line. Hustle to increase, put it all on the line. House to spouse, family freedom, walking yards on the line. Every day on the line. Every day.
What's going on, squares everywhere?
Yeah, what's happening?
It's JJ Fomby Jr. on the Line podcast shows. What's the deal, baby?
Oh, well, we here. You know, another day, another dollar.
Yeah, squares beware everywhere. So we're gonna run this play today on this Wednesday. Oh, before we get started, I want all the listeners and the viewers to know about these streaming platforms that we are all available on. From anywhere you hear podcasts and music, we're there everywhere. So I don't want to mix all them. And also hit that subscribe button over Junior's head. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the share, hit the like, and show us your support in that form of fashion. We highly appreciate that. We're gonna just get down to the get down of the get down. So we're gonna talk about a few topics: current events, current matters, current subjects. Meaning today's date, which is Wednesday, like the 2nd or something of November. So anyway, we're gonna run this play. I just want, if I begin this whole get down, I want everyone, all the listeners and the viewers, to know one thing: if you lost a loved one, and through this whole 2021, we say our prayers to you. If you know us individually, we don't want to call out no names of no one, but just want to send our prayers and our condolences to the families and the loved ones and friends of the families, man. So it's been a hell of a year, man, for a lot of individuals, man. So also we want to give a shout out to all the breast cancer or cancer survivors of October. We apologize that I think we did a little something, but we could have did more than anything. But just to let people know that survived cancer and is dealing with cancer, we send our prayers to y'all to get well quick and don't give up. That's all I want to say about that. So, with that being said, we're gonna talk. Control. What we gonna talk about first? Oh, we're gonna get to that. Yeah. All right. Woo! All right. So we're gonna talk about the young player Henry Ruggs III. Young brother played for the Raiders. Came from Alabama. He's from Alabama, and he's in a situation right now. And just for the record, we want to send prayers to his family as well as the deceased that was involved in the collision that took place. As well, we'll send our prayers to them as well, because loss of life is something different, change of life. So we'll send our condolences to them as well. All I can say, man, stay solid, brother. Man, I don't think you did this intentionally. You know, you made a decision, was not a great decision for what information we know right now. But you will get through this. There's going to be some tough. There's going to be a challenge in your life. So me and Junior been through challenges in our lives.
Yep.
And one of them, most of us been in incarceration. So not being funny and making a laughing matter, was just when we went through that stuff. We've been in the challenges in our life, been in the courtroom. So stay focused and stay down, stay prayed up, and we'll see how it go forth, man. I hate to see you in this predicament. The Raiders did cut him loose.
Yes, they did.
So I don't want to go too far, and I'm not. For the record, we're not kicking him. We're not kicking the brother down. We ain't doing that.
He was a very special talent too, man. Very special talent.
And he's a youngster too, being like 22 years old. So Mr. Henry Ruggs III. So man, I just hate to see this happening. Not because I'm a Raider fan or nothing. I'm just saying, even though I don't know the individual personally, but it's just, the whole deal, man, is ugly. So we're going to move on, not to dwell on him individually, but then there's been a past of individuals in professional sports and in the NFL that have been in a similar situation as bro is in currently today. And I don't know what his future look like, with finances. But there's gonna be some loss of money involved, and possibly loss of freedom. But I'm not the court, I'm not the judge, none of that. But there's been other players that's been in this situation.
Yes, they have.
As far as that was in a situation similar to his, and then returned back to the NFL. One being Josh Bennett, and one being Dante Stallworth. Similar situations. And again, we're not kicking these brothers down, talking bad about them. We watched them play the sport. We enjoyed watching them play the sport, but I'm just using them as references that for those who had these situations, similar to Mr. Ruggs, number 3. So, Junior, what you want to say?
Well, this is tough and heavy for both sides of the situation. The victim, their family, what they have lost, in their family and their household. For Mr. Stallworth and Mr. Ruggs, getting cut. Also, he's not sure probably what type of punishment or sanction he's looking at. His family, they may think they may lose him for a great amount of time, and it's just a whole ugly situation. It's embarrassing for the Raiders organization, just coming off something else embarrassing a month ago or so. It's just all bad around, but everybody just have to, in that situation, as we always say, keep your head up and what could we have learned from this? And I'm sure the organization and they're going to have a meeting about it. And, as you said before, you and I are not there. We wasn't there, so we don't know what exactly took place. We only get the information as we get it. But it's sad, man. It's sad somebody had to lose their life in that magnitude, amongst other things that are going on in the world. And, as you said too, it wasn't intentional. I'm sure of that. But again, just not even him being an athlete. Let's never mind that. Just be mindful of, if you're gonna have a drink or you feel that you're incapable of just, doing something like driving, or, he could have just hurt himself without anybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's just also always a firm believer in when you in that statue as an athlete or entertainer or something like that, you always have to have somebody by your side, even if it's night and day, to make sure you don't make those mistakes.
Correct.
Why? And then as a team, if he's a youngster, so they probably didn't know much of him like that, but usually teams will appoint you someone who, look, man, we got to make sure he's at practice. We got to make sure he's at games. Make sure he's not around this, not around that. When you hire people to protect you, I have to protect you, even if it's protecting you from yourself. You know what I mean? For future people who looking at this, whether you're an athlete or not, and you just like to hang out a little bit, man, if you have somebody around you that can keep you out of situations like that, man, go for it.
Yeah, you got the when you're in these professional athletes or entertainment world, and you have regular different kind of money, you might want to hire somebody to not be your daddy or mama, but more like a big brother, big sister that does some more better thinking than you are at the time of whatever the situation may be, to preventable measures.
Yes,
like make sure. Look, I know this, I know that. Come on, let's move along, dog. This ain't worth all this right here, because we got more going on than this person, or this situation is this. We need to remove ourselves from over here. That we on some scary cat stuff and all that. We just got a lot to lose, which is you, and then your family can lose,
yes,
lifestyle that they have sustained through by you getting to the levels you are at this time or whatever, right? So, yeah, for those who are looking and listening, I know we are professionals in incarceration and going to jail and dealing with jail life. We got that in street life. We're professionals. We're experts in these things. So we know this because we know how to.
We just professionals in life, period. You know, we made a gang of mistakes. Some that we got caught up on, some we got away with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But you know, yeah, man. And then it just goes past the point to a lot of, you know, NFL players, current or past, is sitting in jail for, you know, I want to use the word dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. There's about what I don't know, maybe I don't know. It's running a control, running footage of individuals that's in professional sports or entertainers that's locked up right now.
10 NFL players currently rotting in jail, and the reasons why. Kellen Winslow II. Kellen Boswell Winslow II is a former professional football player who is mainly recognized for his work as a tight end in the National Football League. The Cleveland Browns drafted Winslow with the 6th overall pick in the NFL draft in 2004, and he played 4 seasons for them. During his professional career, he's been named to the Pro Bowl and played for other teams such as the New England Patriots, New York Jets, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The last time Winslow played in the NFL was in 2013, though he did try to return later on. However, that was before he was hit with plenty of charges. As it turns out, Winslow has quite a rap sheet. Between 2014 and 2018, he's been arrested for drug possession, first-degree burglary, and assault, amongst other horrible allegations, unlike the weird football player at the end of this video, who is behind bars for doing some bizarre and nasty things for a cult of which he was a member. In 2019, however, he was jailed after being charged with 2 new counts of lewd conduct, battery, willful cruelty, and assault. So despite being acquitted on some of the previous charges, it was announced that Winslow had to be retired in the light of the latest offenses. He then pled guilty to the charges, and in exchange, he was sentenced to 14 years in prison instead of a life sentence in March of 2021. Wowza. I'm gobsmacked. Sam Hurd. Sam Hurd is best known for playing for the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys in the National Football League. He was basically living the life that many football players can only dream of having. All that changed in 2011 when he was charged with distributing illicit substances. As a result of a thorough investigation, his phone number was traced back to a known drug dealer's phone. Not only that, but Hurd was allegedly the leader of a full-on drug distribution operation that moved a massive volume of substances at an alarmingly fast rate. He pled not guilty and was initially freed on bond, but it appears he didn't learn his lesson as he breached his bail conditions by failing 2 drug tests. Hurd was sentenced to 15 years behind bars in 2013 and is due to be released in 2025. As far as his life in prison goes, the football star has reportedly been keeping himself busy. He completed business and typing classes, basketball officiating, as well as the basics of sports injury training. Oh, and guys, the limited edition Boggled merch just dropped on our store, so after the video, head over to the store and grab yours using the link at the end of the video or one just below this video in the description area. It'll only take a second. TREVONE BOYKIN. TREVONE BOYKIN is a former quarterback who's best known for his time with the Seattle Seahawks. He was a promising athlete until his career came to an abrupt end because of some shocking allegations made against him. The former NFL star had previously been arrested for assaulting a patrol officer, public intoxication, resisting arrest, and possession of controlled substances, so he was no stranger to legal issues. But things took a darker turn when his girlfriend accused him of a domestic violence incident that ended severely. As a result, he was charged with aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. While he was already in custody, he received additional charges such as tampering with witnesses and a misdemeanor theft. Boykin was sentenced to 3 years behind bars and is scheduled to be released in 2023. Art Schlichter. Arthur Ernest Schlichter is a former quarterback who spent 4 seasons in the National Football League with the Colts franchise. The Colts selected him 4th overall in the 1982 NFL Draft, and he played for them in Baltimore and Indianapolis, though he only appeared in 13 games during his time with the NFL. He had more success in the Arena Football League and was even voted Most Valuable Player. His professional football career was cut short, however, due to a gambling addiction that has brought him problems with the law for nearly 5 decades. Schlichter has committed over 20 felonies throughout the years, according to his own account. He squandered most of his NFL and Arena League earnings with his addiction and stole and scammed money from both strangers and friends whenever he ran out of money to maintain his gambling. He also passed bad checks to casinos back when personal checks were still accepted. He'd send a check to the casino and then gamble with the money, hoping to win enough to pay the casino back and get the profits, but he practically always lost. He's estimated to have stolen about $1.5 million, if not more, over the years. For multiple offenses, including fraud and theft, Schlichter has been in and out of prison for many years. He's currently serving 10 years in prison and is due to be released no earlier than September of 2021. Dave Meggett. Dave Meggett, a running back for the New England Patriots and New York Giants, has a solid NFL career between 1989 and 1998. He's received 2 Pro Bowls and 3 All-Pro selections, and has even won a Super Bowl title in the Super Bowl 25 during his time with the Giants. However, he's also made a name for himself thanks to the numerous problems with the law during his career, as well as after his retirement. From multiple assault allegations to battery, he's committed some pretty serious crimes over the years. However, due to the latest incident that involved burglary and criminal indecent conduct, he received a 30-year sentence in 2010. His earliest possible release is 2034, though he has collected various disciplinary violations during his time in prison, so he might end up serving the full sentence after all. Darrell Henley. Darrell Henley used to be a cornerback in the NFL and had a promising career ahead of him. Many would even say he had it all, but that was until he had a major run-in with the law because of drugs. Let's take a look at Henley's rise and fall. Henley was a standout football player at UCLA and went on to play with the Los Angeles Rams. He played in 76 games and accumulated 12 interceptions during his career. However, everything came crashing down in '95 when he was convicted on drug-related charges and handed a 20-year prison sentence just 6 years after entering pro football in the NFL draft in 1989. However, the problems didn't end there, as Henley was later found guilty of attempting to take down a witness and the sentencing judge. As a result, he's currently serving 41 years in prison. Eric Naposki. Eric Naposki is a former linebacker who became known for playing with the Indianapolis Colts and New England Patriots during the late 1980s. He also spent 4 seasons with the Barcelona Dragons and has played in the World League of American Football between '88 and '97. But apart from his professional football career, he's also recognized for committing a horrible crime. Allegedly, Naposki conspired with his lover, Nanette Johnson, to take down her boyfriend, William McLaughlin, with the purpose of collecting his life insurance. The victim was murdered in his home in 1994, but the former NFL player was only arrested in 2009. Though after an investigation that spanned over 15 years, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole in 2012. However, there is some controversy surrounding the case. He was reportedly convicted on circumstantial evidence, as there were no eyewitnesses, fingerprints, DNA, and the weapon was never found. Naposki has always maintained his innocence and has appealed his conviction. Keith Wright. Keith Wright was a promising talent who was headed for NFL glory for serving as a defensive tackle for the Indianapolis Colts, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Detroit Lions. However, Wright did not become a household name, as he only played a few seasons in the NFL and saw very little playing time over the period of several years, and was released for good. In fact, he's probably more known for a string of heinous crimes that he committed after his NFL career came to an end. In 2011, Wright was detained on suspicion of assault in 3 home invasions. In 2012, he was convicted on 19 charges, which included kidnapping, false imprisonment, armed robbery, and first-degree burglary, among other shocking crimes. He was sentenced to a total of 234 years and 8 months in prison. Wright's prison sentence is probably the longest of all convicted athletes in the history of professional sports, so he's got that going for him. Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith was once known as a defensive end deserving of a first-round NFL draft selection in 1990. He spent 6 seasons with the NFL and became recognized for playing for the Oakland Raiders. He amassed 190 tackles and 57.5 sacks before deciding to retire, to the surprise of many in 1997. What did he do after walking away from the NFL? Well, it turns out he was committing shocking crimes. In 2011, Smith was charged with the homicide of his friend Mario Ponce, but with an 8-4 decision in favor of guilt, the jury deadlocked in the case. However, while awaiting retrial in 2012, Smith made the news for some horrific accusations. It was suspected that he had been involved in 3 more homicides. In 2015, he was arrested and later convicted of 3 counts of murder, with special circumstances of kidnapping and torture. What's even more sinister? Well, is that the prosecutors claimed that there were books on how to put down people found in Smith's possession. He's currently serving 3 consecutive life sentences with no chance of parole. Robert Rozier. Now, the following story may be the most bizarre of all of them. Robert Rozier may sound unfamiliar to some people because he only played a few games during his time with the NFL, and he never really found nationwide fame there. So in the 1980s, he decided to join the Nation of Yahweh, a religious movement that's been dubbed a cult. It was founded and led by Yahweh ben Yahweh, who had plenty of run-ins with the law himself. As part of the initiation process, Rozier took the lives of multiple people in order to please the leader. He was ultimately arrested for this, and he later turned state's evidence in return for a 22-year sentence. He was released on parole after serving only 10 years. However,
yeah. All right. Ooh. Yeah,
I tell you, man. I tell you, man. Looking at those cases, all that stuff is controllable, and what I mean by that is nothing was out of their control where they can even say, you know what, it's not my fault or whatever have you. But Jesus.
All right, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's all about decisions and choices.
Exactly.
So it is what it is, man. What it is, what it is, what it is. So just keep pushing, man. Sorry about your situation, man. I learned hard learning lessons right there. We've been through all them kind of learning lessons between the being junior as far as incarceration. Prayers to you, brother. All right, Mr. Ruggs. Stay strong, brother. Stay strong.
So, I have a question to you, Mr. Fomby.
Yes, sir.
Something big is going on up at the courts right now as we speak. Correct?
Before we get to that, let's talk about the high-speed chases.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah. So, Control, just run the footage. You know we do these segments, high-speed chase. We ain't did some in a while. But run the footage, Control.
I'm going, bro.
A carjacking in Macomb County leads to a police chase on Van Dyke in the middle of rush hour traffic. And tonight we have the video showing how it all started.
Police have 4 men in custody. Tim Pamplin walks us through a wild few hours that started in Sterling Heights.
Well, there you see some of the tyre marks in the grass along Van Dyke near 17, where this chase came to a crashing end. There's the fender from that Dodge. It was a chase that had many heads turning during this evening's rush hour. Take a look.
Suspect vehicle is going to be a red Charger Hellcat or Hyoka.
The chase was on up Van Dyke, and this is how it all started. Take a look at this video. The two men in the front, the victims here. The man in the mustard and the other gun-toting men go into the apartment. They get what they need from the apartment and take off with the man's keys and his motor car. The chase getting very dangerous at times.
Van Dyke in the northbound lane.
That's when officers from Sterling Heights, Warren, and Michigan State Police decided this needed to end now.
I'm going to try to get 6 authorized. It is authorized.
6 authorized.
The stop sticks took effect, the vehicle's tires going flat.
Through the Applebee's lot.
And that's when our guy in the mustard shirt comes running through the parking lot. Police officers on foot in pursuit get him tackled down to the ground and in handcuffs. His 3 gun-toting colleagues also taken into custody near that original apartment complex. And it ended with 4 of them in custody. That is the scene in Macomb County this evening. With the night cam, Tim Pamplin, local.
Yeah,
They chased the man down and took him to his house. Got what they wanted and went back out on the road. You know what that tells me? They knew each other.
There was an issue they were dealing with, and they spared. I might also spare a moment, and it went bad. So
yeah,
we know about all that there. You know what I mean? As far as the high speed chases.
And one thing we learned about high speed chases is if they catch you, they are already upset because you made them go through all that, and they are not going to be nice with you. See how they jumped on him and punched him and all that other good stuff?
Look, man, that's been happening for years now. They ain't gonna stop happening.
No, they don't. Please, they don't like when they gotta chase you, man. They don't want to do that.
I'm gonna let everybody know that you're thinking about doing a high speed chase. Expect that to happen at the least. You understand me? Especially out here in California.
Hopefully you don't tear up nothing.
Yeah, that happened in other states as well. Other states and other cities and other counties. Not just out here, all around. It goes down like that. So. Control, you got any more footage about that? A different one?
A large crowd of looky-loos gathered at the scene, many live streaming on social media. We watched as police released the female from custody and let her walk away. And in a bizarre moment, she held what can only be described as an impromptu press conference with the crowd of onlookers.
I'm a trooper, man.
The woman told us her name is Roxy, but she goes by Maserati Gold. She told us the pursuit driver is a friend from Bakersfield who picked her up in Temecula.
We're hanging out, and then he said that he wanted to help his friend in LA that she had got shot. So I said, hey, I'm down the road. It's all good. We'll go help your friend. They try to chase us. It just doesn't really work out well.
Police said he's wanted for murder. Did you know that?
He's wanted for murder. Didn't know that. But it didn't matter because it might have been self-defense. Did you ask that? Did they ask that? Did they ask if it was self-defense, or did they just say, it's murder?
What did you think when that big rig crashed into you guys?
we're in a truck. Hopefully a truck versus another truck will be okay. I don't know. I didn't really expect to get hit by a truck.
That was.
Hey, that's what you call 15 minutes of fame.
That's dangerous thing, man. That's dangerous.
Hey, but you know what, homie? She did have a point. She said, "Do you know your friend wanted for murder?" It's like, was it in self-defense or you just saying it's murder?
Hey, look.
No.
Look, this is what it is, what it is. So, shit, he was I ain't never seen nothing like that before, but she was on
and they cut her loose.
For sure. She just, you know what it was. You know what it was. Hey, hit the subscribe button for On the Line. We need subscribers. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that share. Feel me? Do that for us. And if you want to support us, do it like that. And we got the On the Line podcast t-shirts on the linea. See.
Nah, man, they all gone, bro.
Oh, well, we gonna print some more up.
Yeah, but they want to order, send us your size, DM us, contact us on the Line podcast, DSN on IG, or you can go to JJ Fomby or hit me directly. It's up to you, however you feel that day.
Yeah, you don't hit us up with one of our IGs or the IG. We got you. Junior gonna take care of that though. He the one though. You feel me? But listen, we want to go on to the next segment. Control. Show us the next segment. Oh yeah, here we go. Now that's
the question I was asking you.
So it's a difference. This is a case currently and at the U.S. Supreme Court today in Washington D.C. That's the biggest court in the United States. So they're talking about the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear firearms. And I think this issue was about carrying firearms. What do you mean? What's the difference? Well, you have it on the side of your hip. If you got it where everybody can see it, or you got it concealed, which means covered up, nobody can see it. So
yeah, for all the street people under your seat, shit like that, on your lap, all that crazy nonsense. That's something heavy that's going on in the court right now.
Yeah, so they talking about the right to correct, and y'all can go Google it and check it out. But it's an issue dealing with the cohetes, the pistols, the pistola, the sticks, the mops, what you want to call them, gats. Yeah, because different states, I call them the cowboy states. You know what I'm saying? Like Nevada, probably Texas, Arizona, New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Where you got cowboys at, they gonna carry their pistols on the rack.
Yeah. You walk right in the grocery store with it on your hip.
Yeah, they're gonna have it on their hip, holster. Like that's what's happening. So, I mean, listen, I ain't got time to do. I got things to do and places to see. I talked to somebody about buying a horse. But listen here, don't mess with the Second Amendment right. That's all I got to say. Let them, the forefathers. When I say forefathers, that's just a term of the people that was on this, that created this document, right? It's called the Second Amendment. So he's a forefather. It was not my father, but forefathers were the people who established these amendments for the United States of America. I am American citizen. Junior is American citizen. We not.
Last time that I checked, I was.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I ain't scared to say I'm a citizen of America. Hey, look, I'm here. I'm blessed to be here. I'm just a black man in America, so it's a little bit different in there, but I am American citizen, and still is a great place to live. I don't care what they talking about.
Yeah, I second that.
Yeah, for sure. I just
like more people trying to get in and get out.
Understand me in English. Talk their part. But anyway, so that's something on the plate. Well, I hope they don't change it, man. Same thing, don't change Roe versus Wade. Look that up if you don't know what that is. Just dealing with I don't want to use this word, but it's parenthood. Just use that word, parenthood. But I don't believe you can better tell somebody what to do with their body, man. But the government regulates you like that. I'm it's dealing with womenhood, but we all came from a woman, so that's so don't get to tampering with that. If you start dealing with that, then you're gonna start dealing with all of it. So leave that alone. U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of that because Texas got some other stuff going on.
They do.
Yeah, so
we don't have to fall in line with that. But like you said, each state, I guess they do these bills or these, things according to what's going on in their state. You know what I mean? So
right.
we got a lot of and here in California, we got a lot of shit going on, man.
Yeah. I'll say this as far as politicians. So reference to certain states, you can have, a convicted felon probably get their record changed to legally get a firearm. They got avenues. And all states don't agree with that, but then some just don't agree with it at all, like California, to my knowledge. You know what I mean? So, but there's different states that people can have guns. And I think the more the issue is, if a black man got on a gun, he on video with a gun, he deemed a criminal. You know what I mean? They're not used to seeing black men legitimately bearing arms. That's a problem for some people. You understand where I'm coming from? So, but any other ethnicity, they kind of agree with. But when they see a black man with an assault weapon, but most of them all in those states that they can bear a firearm. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I think I could be wrong, but for me being, normal person, we're not used to seeing somebody bear a firearm in the store or in the mall or something without them doing something wrong.
Yeah, that was
you know what I mean? Our first, especially coming from where we coming from, we see anybody with a gun, we automatically think they up to something wrong.
That footage was for Black Panthers at the state capitol back in the day. Well, we talked about this in our past podcast show, but we only thinking like you only thinking like that and us thinking like this because we from LA County and we come from the gang culture. So, it's a different way of thinking when you live in Texas. Or you live
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Or
when you used to seeing that, that's normal. That's normal.
But it's just a geographical mentality thinking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So that's what people got to start thinking. Where we're in LA, you just thinking everything is in LA County. Everything not in LA County or Southern California or Northern California. You understand where I'm coming from? The United States is a great wide country. So there's different. That's why they got red states and blue states. They have some of the most predominant Republicans, some of the predominant Democrats. You know what I mean? They got different laws. They got state laws. Each state has their own law. Cool. They govern their own state, right? Then there's federal law, which means that law goes to any of the states in the colonies. I mean,
the federal law supersedes everything.
Exactly. So know the law and understanding why what you're seeing and stop plaguing why these people got these guns. In the state, they ain't got no criminal background and they can have a firearm on video or real life walking down the street. Don't think everything is gang related when it comes to blacks and then some Hispanics. Don't think that. You understand where I'm coming from? I didn't want to throw the Hispanics in there, but that's probably we're kind of looked out here in California. You understand where I'm coming from? That every black is a gang member when we're not. Well, most of them are not. That Second Amendment though. Remember that. That was done. That was a script that was written back in the beginning of the country. So, and we should still honor that script. You know what I mean? So you get to change the stuff. Some things need to be amended. I don't think this needs to be amended.
Well, I tell you this. A lot of people who roam in the streets either don't know or don't care about the Second Amendment, whether if it's in or out. They still gonna carry their pistol.
Oh yeah, most definitely that's gonna happen. But we're just talking about the legalities of the case to be put in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. That's what we're talking about. Talking about the legal understanding. So for the listeners and viewers, we're on all these streaming platforms you see right here. Oh, on that side, yeah, down there, whatever. So yeah. We on Apple, we on Spotify, we on Twitch, we on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, we on everything there is, and we on Roku TV. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button over there. Share, like, hit the like. So anyway, take control. We ain't got no more footage, man. We want to shout out Artist Shield. and all the people that we have seen. Junior somewhere in a secret location. Where you at, Junior?
Man, I'm here and there. Just I'm roaming around right now. I'm freelancing, man. I'm freelancing. Today I might be here, tomorrow I might be somewhere else. I got a quick shout out to somebody who was part of the beginning of all this street stuff, man. The homie Red Rum passed away of bone cancer, man, or something like that. So yeah, man, that cancer is we back on that again, man, and prayers and fist pumps to every person out there doing their best to fight that off. It's a motherfucker, man. Man, yeah. So it's something. And don't just think women is men that's walking around who have it and fighting it and has died from it. My father died from lung cancer. So it's a beast, you know what I'm saying? And I wish they put more emphasis on that as far as media wise, but we have a platform, and whatever come across the table that's serious that we need to talk about and that's not serious, but we deem it is, we gonna talk about it, man, and however they feel about it is how they feel about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that cancer. I lost my grandparents to cancer, so I got you, bro. Yeah, man, you need to spend more money on trying to cure it, and then maybe like people live a little bit longer live a little bit more longer, and I really appreciated it too. So basically, we're gonna hit that subscribe button. Hey, stay tuned. We're gonna have a marathon on the line. Shows coming up. You'll see when they pop up from when we first started to where we at today. I'm done, Junior. What you got to say?
Anybody out there who want to give me a loan, you know how to hit me up.
Matter of fact, hold up. It's Junior's birthday. Happy birthday, Junior.
Here we go.
Birthday, Junior. Enjoy yourself, man. Man, getting older. You're alive.
Yeah, my birthday is Friday, so November 5th is my born day. Two parents was fucking around and then they got me, so I don't know what the hell they was doing, but here I am. So
yeah, he is.
Yeah,
right,
buddy.
Enjoy yourself, Junior, man. Happy birthday to you, big bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. Control. Thank you for the banner. I'm getting old, but hey, I ain't been around that long, but I've been around long enough.
Yeah, when you get back to this side of town, lunch on me, man, or dinner on me, big dog.
Yeah, I want 2 bean pies and a pork chop sandwich.
Yeah, I got you. You and the ball and chain, man. It's on me, dog. We'll line it up. Artist Shield, baby.
Every day I wait for like my life on the line. Jungle in these streets, speak the beats are on the line. Hustle to increase, put it all on the line. House to spouse, family, freedom, walking yards on the line. Every day on the line. Every day on the line.